Hey guys, so I completely forgot that I missed some steps from my last video about some solo traveling tips. So I'm just gonna share with you guys. So stay tuned. Let someone know where you're staying, like your hostel accommodation or your Airbnb or hotel. Like let a friend know. I think a few friends know exactly where you're staying and what time your flight lands, because you never want to feel like you're stranded. And say you do land at the destination and something were to happen to you, like at least your friends know you're supposed to text them at this certain time, and that way you don't die. But if you don't have any friends, honestly just post an Instagram story, you made it. I'm sure you have followers or someone that's concerned about you, but point is though, definitely let someone know what time your flight lands and your accommodations and everything, because you're in a foreign country, especially a foreign country that doesn't speak English. Bruh, it's very easy to get stranded out here in these streets. I highly suggest that you make copies of your passport just in case, God forbid, you lose your passport. At least you have paper copies that you can take with you to your country's embassy. But if you're from a country that they don't have an embassy at that country, then that sucks for you still. But for the rest of us, like Canadians, Americans, British people, other people that are worldwide, it's definitely nice to have a paper copy of your passport so you can easily end up leaving the country. Because imagine you get stranded inside the country, bro. That would suck. There was this girl, my friend's friend, that she is South African, and she went to Thailand for a vacation, but her passport got lost or stolen. I don't know exactly what happened, but something happened to her passport where she didn't have it anymore. And so she was literally stranded in Thailand for 10 plus days, because they wouldn't let her leave the country because she didn't have a passport to exit. But yeah, that's a huge nightmare. That's really scary, because imagine you don't have the funds to sustain you being trapped inside a country. Say you only budgeted for a 2-week stay in I don't know, a random country, and then you lost your passport and you couldn't leave the country for a week after that. Then it's bruh, do I have the money to even stay here? So that's a huge one. So keep a copy of your passport because it's super important. And it's super important, bro. Your passport is your imprint, the mark that you leave internationally. So we all know men are trash. So and men are creepy worldwide. So you have to always be aware of your surroundings, because they are literally worldwide. As in you have to always just be cautious of what you're doing, and I hate to say this, but what you're wearing, and just your surrounding. You have to really be careful, because honestly shit just be popping off, you can get followed home. Your cab person might just take a different route. I'm laughing, but it's actually mass serious, fam. You guys need to really be cautious, because men are very, very scary. You can't even just be nice and try to have a casual conversation, because they just think aha, something's gonna happen. For example, I was in Vietnam. It was my last day, right? And I was at a coffee shop, just getting my coffee on, you know what I'm saying? That egg coffee tastes I don't really like it, but it's a Vietnamese staple. So I was trying to get used to the taste, but it just wasn't for me. Anyways, so there was this guy that barely spoke any English, right? And he just sat right beside me, and I was just bruh, this whole coffee shop is empty. What do you want, right? So I was just whatever. The locals have been super chill and nice. I'm just gonna if he speaks to me, whatever, I'm gonna continue talking. So he was just what's your name? And I was oh, my name is Nazra. I'd be giving fake names, guys. Nobody needs to know your government. Keep that shit to yourself. I was oh, my name is Nazra. And he's oh, okay. Mind you, he doesn't barely speak any English. So he takes out his phone and he's translating on his Google Translate app. I'm used to this life because I'm in Korea, so I'm used to guys just using Google Translate to holler at you. So I was just started laughing, because damn, I'm in Korea, I haven't even left. And then he's just oh, you are beautiful. And I was just oh, thank you. And then he goes, where do you live? I said, oh, it's my last day. I'm leaving back to Korea. He's oh, you live in Korea? And I was yeah. And then he goes, oh, you should come to my house. Bruh, listen, so point is though, I was trying to give a quick story time because honestly, like, a lot of stuff happened to me in Vietnam. Almost got trafficked, got left behind by a tour group. Stuff just be happening. So basically just, make sure you just keep your guard, because after he said that, I was like, okay, I'm done drinking my coffee and I'm out of there. So I skedaddled and yeah, booked my flight again to go to Vietnam because I love me the Vietnamese. You know what I'm saying? I love Vietnam. Nobody needs to know you're traveling solo at all. Nobody needs to know that information, because that information will always get misused and it's not a good feeling. So whenever someone asks you like, oh, are you here by yourself, just always say like you're waiting for a friend that's going to come out later tonight, or you're meeting a friend, she went to a different restaurant, or she went shopping, we're going to meet at a certain point. Just come up with the lies, bruh. Like, men lie every day. Women, we can do it too. Like, just come up with the lies. And just always say that you have a friend that's meeting you that's in the same day or like a couple hours apart. Because if you tell people that you're traveling solo, it really, like, I feel like puts a target on your back. Especially like if you just look very like new to traveling, like you don't even know like where you're going, you get lost easily. The airplane. I'm sorry guys. I'm gonna record in a bit. Okay, I'm back. But basically, never tell anybody that you're traveling solo. If anything, just lie that like your boyfriend is coming to meet you like in like 2 hours, because honestly, men will respect men more than they'll respect you as a woman. So if you are someone's property, aka a man, they're more likely to leave you alone. But you know what? Men these days, they don't even care, man. Your man can't let you have friends, Can you imagine a foreign country, someone saying that in a whole different language, so your man doesn't let you have friends? I would have been like, bruh. You're probably gonna get scammed at least like once. It happens to the best of us. But for me personally, like what I found so annoying about Thailand was just constantly being asked about cab rides every second. So like I'd be walking, I haven't even left my hostel, it's like less than 5 seconds, my foot is just out the door. Do you need a cab? And I was just like, no, I'm good. So I just, every second it kept saying, I'm good. And I understand they're trying to make their money, try to get their bread up. It's a very poor country. It relies on tourism and like the sex industry. I totally get it. But it's like, damn, I'm black. I look like y'all. Like, why can't you just scam the colonizers? Why you can... Yo, I just didn't understand why they couldn't just give me no type of leeway, It's like, bruh, just assume the stereotype that I'm poor or some shit. Because like, I was just so frustrated because every time, say I did catch a cab, it was like exuberant prices. Like, why am I paying this much when like the Grab app, remember like the Uber Grab app that I mentioned, is like half the price, but you're telling me I have to pay this one to catch the same type of ride? So that was super frustrating and a huge tip. So just every time, that happened quite a lot, to be honest. But yeah, you just have to like bite your tongue and just like breathe, because you have to remember they're just trying to get their money up, like they gotta survive in this country. And I'm just here for a visit. I'm only here very temporarily, so I get it. But goddamn, it was a lot. Like it just started to build up, and I was like, you know what? I'm off Bangkok. I literally caught an earlier flight, and I'm like, I'm off to Phuket. Can't do this anymore. Remember how in my last video I talked about really quickly about packing lightly, but you also need to pack clothes according to what you're trying to see in the country. So if you come to like Asia or like Southeast Asia, there's a lot of temples that won't allow you to enter the vicinity if you're not wearing appropriate clothing. For example, in a lot of like temples in Southeast Asia, you can't enter the spot in pom pom shorts. You know what I'm saying? Like, your titties out and stuff, you gotta cover that. You have to make sure your clothes are below your knees and like your arms and stuff are covered. But nowadays though, because like the tourist industry is super big in Southeast Asia, a lot of the places charge you money to like wear like a shawl around like your body to cover up before you enter the temple. But you kind of just don't want to be just spending money for no reason like that. So just pack like some really loose pants or like something that you can just take in on and off, because I understand these countries are very hot, so you're not really trying to wear long sleeve stuff and like pants and things. So you just wear like a nice like shawl or something that you can just cover like, your booty cheeks. That way you're being respectful of being in someone's like place of worship. Because like what had me dying, I'm telling you guys this as if I didn't pull up to the whole masjid in like a tank top, and they literally just threw me an abaya, and they're like, yo, here, sis. And I was like, all right. But that was free though, so I got that for free. But in other places, like, they do charge you, like in Malaysia, Thailand, where else was it? And Vietnam, they do charge you to, like, you know, to rent some clothes for you to wear to enter the temples. But save your coins. We're all about saving money up in her. Oh, those are like my few tips that I forgot to mention in my last video. So I figured I can help you guys, you know, have safe travels on your solo endeavors. Did I say endeavors right? I'm not really trying to get roasted like last time. It's like almost like I have these words in my head. They fit right, but I don't know. I pronounce it wrong all the time. And honestly, low key, living in Korea for 2 years, I'm losing my English. Like, oh my goodness, guys, like today, yo, my kids are actually so rude. Let me tell you guys what my kids said today. So, you know, before the class starts, we like to say, hello, like, how are you? How's the weather? So I asked, how's the weather? And nobody answered me. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna start speaking Korean. This is how I can, like, practice. So I said to them, y'all aren't gonna roast me, okay? I was like, 날씨가 어때요? And they were like, huh? Teacher, no Korean. No Korean. It's sunny outside. And I just said, wow. So y'all knew what I was saying. Y'all knew I said, how's the weather? And I said it in 2 languages. And y'all still tried to ignore me. And then when I tried to speak Korean just to, like, you know, because I thought you guys didn't understand me the first time I said it, y'all knew exactly what I meant. And you still roasted me. But my kids are mad rude. Anyway, so hope you guys learned a lot from these solo travel tips. Please remember to subscribe. I want to make it to like 20K by the end of this year. That'd be amazing. But I also have to step on my uploading game, because you know what I mean? It's a 2-way street. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, guys. See you guys in my next video. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day, wonderful week, wonderful year. So yeah, bye.